welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
The 2022 NFL regular season is just around the corner. After a wild offseason saw some familiar faces land in some new places. One team sure to have a different feel, but for a different reason, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And that will do it. Roethlisberger's career is over.
That's the end of the season and the end of a great career.
2022 begins a new era in Pittsburgh as the Steelers start a season without Ben Roethlisberger for the first time since 2003. And while Big Ben leaves big shoes to fill, much of the supporting cast returns, and expectations are still high in the Steel City. Today, they'll take on the Lions, a spirited bunch who finished last year strong.
Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
And are starving for winning football in the Motor City.
We know what we're capable of, and we're going places.
Football is back, and it's next on CBS. As are so many cities across our great nation, the city of Pittsburgh is alive with the anticipation of a new NFL season. Its fans, like millions of others, are hungry with excitement for the annual pursuit of a Super Bowl. We are at Acrisure Stadium today for this final preseason game of 2022. It's the Detroit Lions and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pittsburgh. I'm Greg Gumbel along with Charles Davis. Evan Washburn is with us as well down along the sidelines. It is that time of the year. Questions to be answered. Who's going to play where? Who's going to be on the roster? There are questions that are begging answers.
And certainly the people who want the answers the most, you and me, everyone who's watching, all the fans out there, they want to find out the final rosters so they can root for the home team.
Let's start with the Pittsburgh Steelers. No Ben Roethlisberger. The Steelers hope that they have drafted his eventual successor.
Well, they believe that they have because they took Kenny Pickett, the hometown kid out of Pitt. Today we'll see three quarterbacks. We'll see Mitchell Trubisky start, Kenny Pickett come in, also Mason Rudolph. But Kenny Pickett is truly the story. Runner-up for the Heisman Trophy, all right? He was in the finals. This guy gets it done. ACC champ, he is their future.
Now, for the Detroit Lions, they are led by a fireball of a head coach, second-year head coach Dan Campbell.
Boy, does he get it going for that team. All he wants is for them to compete. He has a quarterback in Jared Goff who believes in him. He believes in Jared Goff. And remember, their first overall pick, Aiden Hutchinson, the defensive end out of Michigan. He wanted to be a Lion, and boy, is he playing well as a rookie.
As we work our way toward kickoff time for that segment of the pregame show known as the Evan Washburn Report, and not coincidentally, here's Evan.
Hey, Greg, as you well know, the Steelers have a reputation for finding value and elite players at the wide receiver position outside of the first round. Names like Antonio Brown, Chase Claypool, for example. Well, they may have another one on their hands in second-rounder George Pickens, who was the 11th wide receiver selected in this year's draft. He's made splash plays in the preseason. Mike Tomlin saying he's a rare talent. Kenny Pickett saying, you just throw it in his zip code, he's coming down with it. Guys, we'll see if he puts on a show on a Sunday.
Evan, thank you very much. It is a beautiful day in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Temperature is now up over 90. Very little wind. It's still very much summertime as we get set for this final preseason game of 2022. The Steelers won the toss. They will defer. So the Lions getting their hands on the football first. Justin Jackson will return this one from the 1. To the 15, to the 20, breaks through across the 25 and out too close to the 30-yard line. So at quarterback, Jared Goff is the Lions starter. He will not play today. Tim Boyle and David Blau battling for the backup role, and Boyle gets first crack at it tonight.
And it is truly a battle. Normally you know who your backup quarterback is going into your final preseason game. For Detroit, this is the final audition. One of them will be named QB2 after the roster cuts. Boyle gets the first shot today.
Tim Boyle in his 5th season out of Eastern Kentucky. And right off the bat, out of the shotgun. Under pressure, throws, completes it across the 35, across the 40, and with first down yardage, it's tight end T.J. Hawkinson. The Lions have worked very hard to add depth to their offensive line. And went out and got the newcomers. Well, I got to get the name right off the bat.
I have a Halapula Vaitai.
Thank you very much.
I had him at TCU, Greg. I used to spend time in the mirror in the hotel room going over that name, hoping I could get it.
The handoff and across the 45, penalty marker flies. And we'll see our first penalty of the day. Jamar Jefferson tackled
Offside.
by T.J. Watt.
Defense number 65. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So Larry Ogunjobi, guilty of the offside.
Nice pickup for Pittsburgh in the offseason. He's been with Cleveland. He's been with Cincinnati. Got hurt late in the season as the Bengals made their run to the Super Bowl. The Steelers happy to have him on their roster.
1st and 5. The fake to Jefferson, the quick pass to the near side, and dropped by Amon-Ra St. Brown. Pittsburgh's 3-4 defense starts with the very classy veteran defensive end Cameron Hayward. And Pittsburgh led the NFL with 55 sacks last year. T.J. Watt, Charles, had 22.5 of them.
You never worry about Pittsburgh bringing pressure against the quarterback. Blitzburgh will always be Blitzburgh. But what hurt them last year? Their run defense. Near the bottom of the league. If they shore that up, the sacks will get even higher.
On 2nd and 5, this is Jefferson, and Jefferson across midfield and just into Pittsburgh territory. Cameron Hayward making that stop. So it'll be 3rd down at about 3.
So we won't see the first couple of runners for the Detroit Lions. They feel very good about DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams as their lead guys. Jamar Jefferson, he ran really hard for them last year. They want to see him get a real crack at it. A bell cow back out of Oregon State.
Jefferson is in the backfield on 3rd and 3. Going nowhere. Going nowhere, brought down back at the 46-yard line. Once again, T.J. Watt.
And in every game plan, you say you're going to block number 90 and T.J. Watt, but if you don't block him, he's almost always going to make a play. You know, there's plenty of guys, if you don't block them, they may miss the tackle or what have you. T.J. Watt, he wreaks havoc no matter what, but unblocked, look out.
Gunnar Olszewski is standing at his own 10-yard line. Jack Fox to punt it away for Detroit. Olszewski just inside his own 10-yard line. Gets away from the first 2 pursuers and brings it out across the 20, out of bounds at about the 21, maybe the 22-yard line. 12:31 to play early on here in Pittsburgh, and we are scoreless. Welcome back, everybody. We are scoreless early in the first quarter. Told you it was a beautiful day. Look at that shot for aerial coverage of today's game provided by Goodyear.
You can always find a bridge here.
We will see all 3 Steeler quarterbacks today. Mitch Trubisky starts. Mike Tomlin very happy with his quarterback room.
Loves his quarterback room because Mitchell Trubisky was someone that they identified that they wanted, had the profile. Young, but experienced, and has won some games in this league. Been to the playoffs twice. He gets first crack at it before we see Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph the holdover.
This is Najee Harris. 1,200 yards rushing a season ago and stacked up at the line of scrimmage. There is the rookie Kenny Pickett, 20th overall selection out of the University of Pittsburgh, and Mason Rudolph, the 5th-year QB from Oklahoma State.
And maybe Mason Rudolph has played his best football as a Pittsburgh Steeler in this preseason. That is not hyperbole, but what an uphill battle for him. You sign Mitchell Trubisky as a free agent, you know you want him. You draft Kenny Pickett. Mason Rudolph may have done nothing wrong, but he still may be the odd man out.
Trubisky rolling, and is wrestled out of bounds back at about the 23-yard line by Tracy Walker. On the O-line, Pittsburgh went out and got some newcomers. Mason Cole is one of them. James Daniels is another.
And they need them to really elevate their game. Dan Moore, 2nd-year starter at left tackle. They need him to jump things up as well.
Evan told you about the wide receiver, George Pickens. Could Mike Tomlin just beam enough over number 14?
Well, how quickly did he get right to it? Coach, George Pickens, freak talent.
Yes. On 3rd and 8, Trubisky running out of time. And down inside the 20-yard line. Aiden Hutchinson in on the stop along with Charles Harris.
And that was a great combination for the Detroit defense led by Aaron Glenn, their defensive coordinator. And when I say combination, the pass rush was good. That's not everything, though. The reason? The coverage. Look at the back end and tell me where someone's open. There is no one for Mitchell Trubisky to deliver the ball to. Hutchinson puts him on the ground.
Colin Raymond is deep for the punt. And he will field it at about his own 45. Turns and goes in the opposite direction and can't get away from pursuit. That's where we'll get started when we come back. 10:29 to play in the first quarter. We're still scoreless.
Insurance.
No shortage of the little ones in the seats here on Family Day in Pittsburgh.
Those terrible towels coming in handy, aren't they, Greg? For a little shade?
Yes. Wave at nothing, we need it. Jefferson in the backfield, and again, Boyle over center. Jefferson, not much happening on the left side, just creeps across the 45-yard line. Larry Ogunjobi with the stop. Boyle is going to play the entire first half and then will be relieved in the second half by David Blau.
Look, I'm picking up the tempo here. Get a little change up for Boyle to operate from the line of scrimmage.
Now slowing things down, he moves under center. 2nd and 9. The pass over the middle is batted down at the line of scrimmage. Looked like he had someone coming open over the middle too.
Was that Cam Hayward getting involved? And I think TJ Watt from the backside. Watch Watt here, and then watch the middle. There's Hayward, 97, left hand, knocks it out of the sky. Those two haven't collaborated for big plays very often in Pittsburgh, have they?
So it's 3rd and 9. Penalty markers flying again, and that pass is incomplete. Let's see what the flag is. Our referee today is Alex Kemp.
Illegal formation. Offense. Number 68 wasn't on the line of scrimmage. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
That's the left tackle, Taylor Decker.
The 3rd and 9, you often get those offensive tackles who get back up just a little bit more, trying to help themselves with the angle and against the pass rushers. Taylor Decker backed himself into the backfield. You have most of your body moving, looking forward before the officials, so the officials don't throw the flag.
Steven Sims back on his own 10-yard line for the punt. High, fair catch called for and made at the 15-yard line. So we are still scoreless as we take a timeout. We'll bring you back to Pittsburgh right after this.
With the 2nd pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Aiden Hutchinson, defensive end, Michigan.
Hard to tell who was happier on draft night, Aiden Hutchinson and his family, or the Detroit Lions, that he was sitting there and there for the pick.
Equally giddy. Equally. He actually wanted to be a Lion, and the Lions knew sitting at 2, there's a chance he could be gone at 1 to Jacksonville. When they took Trayvon Walker, they turned the card in immediately and messed up a night of television.
Exactly right. That pass is complete and out close to the 20-yard line with the catch is Pat Freiermuth, the tight end.
I mean, the league said, don't turn it in so fast. We're supposed to talk about these picks. But the Lions said, why? This is the guy we want. Look at him working against Dan Moore, the 2nd-year tackle from Texas A&M. Good, strong upfield rush. The thing about Aiden Hutchinson already in his career, it's not just the initial pass rush, Greg. It's the second move, the third move, the finishing move. All-out effort every snap.
This is Harris. Harris can't get away from the tackle inside and prior to the line. Well, made in Michigan, you bet. He's all over it from Plymouth, Michigan. His parents, both Michigan graduates. His dad, Chris, played. And he only finished second in the Heisman voting last year, which is unheard of for a defensive lineman.
And just think, he was chasing his father, not just the ghost of his father on the football field. His father was a terrific player at the University of Michigan and an NFL draft pick in a short time in the NFL. But he had the sack record there. He was chasing that. And he chased him academically. Dad's a doctor.
Penalty markers, his play will not count. They had some movement prior to the snap.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 97. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
That was Hutchinson.
Yeah, every now and then you get the praise. You got to rein it in a little bit, trying to get off the snap quicker. And they catch him in the neutral zone. You see the pointing immediately. James Daniel, the veteran, came over from Chicago Bears, pointing out to Hutchinson. It jumped early and the flags came out.
You know, it wasn't, there was no hesitation. We asked Jared Goff about whether or not he's for real or not. It's, oh yeah, he's the real deal.
Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator, has said he's better, even more athletic than we thought, and we thought highly of him when we drafted him.
Going deep down the far sideline. That pass is caught inside the 40-yard line. Deontay Johnson on the reception.
The speed of Johnson at the top of your screen, always in evidence, but look at the extra gear and the layout. A gorgeous throw by Trubisky. Terrific effort by Johnson.
On first down, moving inside the 30-yard line is Najee Harris. Let's go back to that catch.
Right there, I think he got a little extra in his giddy up to go get the football. That ball was perfectly thrown. It was Deontay Johnson's ball or no one's. And Deontay Johnson made the decision, Mitchell Trubisky, right with that catch.
So the ball now at the Detroit 28-yard line. Little flip to Harris. Harris inside the 25, inside the 20, where he is hit hard, about a yard shy of a first down. Deshaun Elliott coming up from his safety position.
Somewhat of a surprise that Najee Harris plays at all in the preseason, considering he had 381 total touches last year and will at least approach that number this year. But Mike Tomlin and the offensive staff wanted to get him a little work before the season began. I think this is the series, Greg. He finishes this series and then he goes for the ball cap. Let's see if they go back to him here.
He missed 2 weeks of practice with an injury, trying to get a little rust off before the regular season comes around. On 2nd and 1, Trubisky rolling, throwing, complete. First down on the near side. That is Miles Boykin, the 4th-year receiver out of Notre Dame.
We go back to this quarterback situation here in Pittsburgh. Who's going to be the #1 guy? We know Kenny Pickett's the future. Can he be the present? And he's played pretty well in the preseason. But they got Mitchell Trubisky for a reason. His ability to move around and inside and out of the pocket. He has been to the playoffs twice as a starting quarterback and still young enough that his skills are still advancing. This drive right here is symbolic of what they wanted out of him. Good tempo, good movement, good accuracy throwing the ball.
On first down. The give is to Harris. Harris turning the corner. Penalty marker is down in the backfield as he works his way inside the 10 to about the 7.
Holding. Offense number 65. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
That penalty is on Dan Moore and will bring the Steelers back a little bit.
I don't think it was the initial. I think it was late as Najee Harris makes his move outside right there. And who's he holding? The #1 pick for the Detroit Lions, Aiden Hutchinson. And that was something when you watch the Hard Knocks show that the defensive coaches kept talking about with their defense Detroit Lions. Make them throw the flag, meaning don't give up on the initial block. Get off of the block, get out there, get extended, and let them see those hands holding you. Aiden Hutchinson did it well.
The rookie Jalen Warren is in the backfield now on 1st and 20. Coming around from the other side is Gunnar Olszewski, though, and Olszewski going to be marked down at the 12-yard line.
I don't know about you, but it's hard for me to get used to seeing Gunnar Olszewski in black and gold when I'm used to seeing him in that Patriots uniform, returning kicks and running jet sweeps. This guy's done it all in his career. He was an all-conference cornerback in college before he flipped over to wide receiver in the NFL. And we talk about his Pro Bowl and all-pro return skills. Steelers give him a look everywhere.
On 2nd and 8 now. Trubisky. Right up the middle, another flag flies as he is down at the 12-yard line. Bruce Hector, Demetrius Taylor with the stop.
And this has been a concern for Pittsburgh all during the preseason. How's this offensive line going to shake out? And when will they get consistency in play?
Holding. Offense number 65. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Dan Moore not liking the resume he's building.
No, he's building the wrong direction. This is Moore here. 2nd straight holding call. This one against Charles Harris, who really resurrected his career last year in Detroit. Former 1st-round pick of the Miami Dolphins, had 7.5 sacks and led the Lions. There's Mike Tomlin. I'm thinking he's thinking to himself right now, we've got to get back into the lab with this offensive line. They need some work up front if they're going to be ready for the season opener in Cincinnati.
2nd and 18, and Trubisky getting blitzed. He got rid of it to the end zone. It is incomplete. Pass intended for Gunnar Olszewski. Good pressure brought by the Lions.
It was, and they really got into the face of Mitchell Trubisky. But this is truly a good throw by Trubisky, because you notice how he danced to the left just away from the pressure, and he throws it up with some loft to give Olszewski a chance to make a play on the football. If he's able to make an adjustment and get his head around, he might have a chance for that completion. But no Lion was in danger of picking that one off.
So now it's 3rd and 18. Harris, who can catch the ball out of the backfield. And early movement again on the offensive line.
False start. Offense number 69. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That's Kevin Dotson. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this is not the clockwork precision that Mike Tomlin is looking for in the last preseason game.
No, and remember, the first 2 penalties were against Dan Moore, the left tackle. So here's Kevin Dotson with a chance to solidify the left guard position. Kendrick Green essentially pulled out of the lineup for it and running for it. So he says, okay, if you've done 2, Dan, I'm on the side with you. Let me get 1 in myself. Not what they're looking for.
3rd and 23. Trubisky to the near side. That pass is caught by Harris, and Harris can't twist away from Chris Board. And that will bring on the field goal unit.
And here Matt Canada, the offensive coordinator of Pittsburgh now, when they go into meetings after this ball game. Gentlemen, it's tough enough to move the ball in this league. Why do we hurt ourselves and go from a scoring opportunity to 3rd and 20 and now an attempted field goal?
Chris Boswell from 45 yards out as the Steelers look for the first lead of the game. On its way, and good. And we have a penalty marker down, which is something of a theme early here. They're going to talk it over. Yeah, they're going to talk it over with Mike Tomlin.
Take the points. They're not in a position where 4th down gets them close to a 1st down. Take the points and keep moving.
Offside. Defense number 24. Penalty is declined. The field goal is good. Timeout.
Although, Charles, you wonder if this is that time of the year and the type of game where you just try new stuff just to try it.
Yeah, I think there's a possibility of that, but I think he would have liked it better at 4th and 5 instead of 4th and 15.
3-0 Steelers.
I know what assignment I'm taking. I'm I'm taking the Hawaii one.
Mrs. Davis didn't raise any dummies. Craig Reynolds from the 5-yard line. Veers to his right, finds a hole out across the 30 and up to about the 40-yard line, and there are penalty markers down. Always wondered how do you coach against that without diminishing the enthusiasm?
It's very hard to do, and you're hoping they find the line for it, but it's really difficult to do. It's almost something you end up living with while you're trying to have those guys be, as you said, enthusiastic about their task of blocking people. Guys are just so fast. You think you got them lined up, and then he's past you.
During the return. Personal foul, face mask, kicking team number 26, holding, receiving team number 57. Those penalties will offset at the spot of Detroit's foul. First down, Lions.
So they will get it started from their own 20-yard line. Hey, back in June, the NFL hosted its first NFL Africa camp, an effort that underscores the NFL's commitment to develop more ways to serve its growing fan base across the continent and to further identify and develop more talent in Africa. With more than 100 players of African descent, the NFL looks to highlight the contributions of its African players and introduce the sport to the next generation of fans.
How about that? Did you see the footwork of that young man, right on the first one? Looked like Devontae Adams getting off the line of scrimmage against press.
Jamar Jefferson in the backfield. He'll take the handoff, and he'll pick up about 2 before everything comes to a halt. There's Tim Boyle. 3 seasons in Green Bay. His second here in Detroit.
And this battle between himself and David Blau, I think it comes down to Boyle, kind of that quiet consistency, and the moxie of Blau. Big plays can result when David Blau is on his game.
Boyle pulls it down, looking this way, and throws it away. Nearest receiver was Amon-Ra St. Brown, and we have a penalty marker.
Holding, offense number 68. 10-yard penalty, second down.
That's Taylor Decker, the left tackle.
It's been tough going for the offensive linemen for both sides early in this one. Defensive line getting off on the snap, that get off as coaches talk about, putting them in tough situations, and they reach out and grab and claw.
I'm thinking that, Charles, that a coach will let a few go here and there, but already they're starting to stack up to the ridiculous point.
Third preseason game, and the guys that we're talking about are your starters for the season. So that's cause for concern from them.
That pass to the far side and just out of bounds. Or no, he stayed in bounds, but down at about the 13-yard line is Jamar Jefferson.
Really nice play on the corner there by Ahkello Witherspoon. Came over from Seattle and has really found his stride here in Pittsburgh. You see why they liked him coming out of college. That length, good footwork, willingness to tackle. We saw it all in evidence on that last play.
So it's 3rd and 17. Boyle needs the 30-yard line for a first down. Jefferson on the draw, up the middle, looking for first down yardage. He has it and more. Tripped up and gets it out to about the 39-yard line. Trey Norwood got the trip up, but how's that for a 3rd and long?
And that's got to feel good for this offensive line. Look at how it was blocked up, and then look at where the gaps are. And nice vision by Jefferson. They gave him access to the secondary, and then his vision and footwork took him even deeper. See the cut there? And look at his head. His eyes are working. See him looking back where the tackler's coming from. Big pickup on 3rd and 17. Gives Tim Boyle another set of downs.
The chains are broken. We got to repair them.
Well, if I heard correctly, the chains are broken. Let's go downstairs to Evan.
Well, guys, one thing you don't want in a preseason game, injuries to a key player. Deontay Johnson had that big play, the one reception for 38 yards, and appeared to come up hobbled afterwards. He's out for this game right now. He's currently in the locker room with a shoulder injury.
Well, not something they want to see at all. The clear leader of their wide receiver core. Chase Claypool's there. George Pickens, as Evan Washburn outlined to us at the top of the show, really coming along fast. But Deontay Johnson's a big part of their passing game.
Had 2 catches for 33 yards in the 2 previous games, but you're right, that big triumvirate of receivers that includes George Pickens, Chase Claypool.
Greg, those guys, the chain crew, they worked hard. They look like a NASCAR pit stop group trying to get it done. And they need to get it done fast because you know what everyone at home saying? What happened to the laser pointer, right? I mean, just do the lasers for this. Why do we have chains?
I don't know about NASCAR pit stops. You're going to have to go another route with me.
One of my college teammates' son is part of a NASCAR team, and boy, did they get it done.
Justin Jackson into the backfield and across the line of scrimmage close to the 42-yard line. Well, the Detroit Lions, we're not seeing DeAndre Swift nor Jamal Williams, but they provided the bulk of the running last year.
And does that fit totally with what Dan Campbell, as their head coach, personifies and would want in a football team? Former tight end who was an excellent blocker himself. Wants a big physical team up front that controls the line of scrimmage. And running the football is one way to do it.
Spreading the field on 2nd and 8. The pass to the side is complete, and out of bounds at about midfield is Amon-Ra St. Brown. St. Brown, 90 catches, 912 yards receiving last season.
And how about the way he finished the season? Right? His last 8 ball games, he was just sensational. I mean, had 8 or more catches in the last 6, went over 100 yards twice down the stretch. His game just kept getting better and better.
Time winds down on the first quarter. Many more penalties than points, but it's 3-0 Pittsburgh. And we're coming right back for the start of the second quarter after this. Saturday on CBS, we begin our day at 2:30 Eastern Time with college football kickoff, and then we'll take a look at what's happening in other games around the country on College Football Today at 3:30 Eastern. First game of this season's fantastic college football schedule. Arizona on the road against San Diego State. College football is back this Saturday on CBS.
Brand new stadium at San Diego State. Back over the site of old Jack Murphy Qualcomm. Last year they played in Carson, the Docker Stadium. Remember the
as Boyle steps up, trying to escape and cannot, and goes down at about the 46-yard line, courtesy of Minkah Fitzpatrick.
This is one where the coverage didn't have to last long. You see Watt, Fitzpatrick on the safety blitz, and now they have more Steelers than what these guys up front can block. All the extra black shirts coming in.
The extra black shirts coming in. Who's got whom? They've got Tim Boyle.
Loss of 5, 2nd and 15. That pass tipped at the line of scrimmage and falls incomplete. But it fell amongst a batch of Steelers.
Carl Dunbar is a defensive line coach for Pittsburgh, and he coaches fundamentals as well as anyone in the league. If you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up and try and affect the passing lane. For the second time this game, Cameron Hayward does exactly that. That's his second knockdown of a pass thrown by the Lions.
So now Boyle and the Lions are looking at 3rd and 15. Good protection this time, and that pass is intercepted. Picked off across the 40-yard line. Cameron Sutton. Sutton breaking to the outside and out of bounds. You have to take another look to be sure, but it looked like Boyle threw it right to Cameron Sutton.
I'm with you. It's almost like he thought Cameron Sutton was the receiver. Watch what he's looking at downfield as he throws the ball. He's expecting that receiver on the in-breaking route, never sees number 20 in black sitting in the exact spot where the receiver's crossing behind him. He thought he had Josh Reynolds, number 8, on the dig route, cutting inside right there. Instead, he ends up with Cameron Sutton sitting right in the exact spot, takes it away, and goes the opposite direction.
Sutton with the interception and the return of 45 yards, and it sets the Steelers up just inside the Detroit 20-yard line.
Versatility of Cameron Sutton, outside corner, works inside in the slot in passing situations. Comes up with a big play there. Let's see if they attack on this first down for Mitchell Trubisky to throw it towards the end zone.
Najee Harris still in the game. Harris with the carry. Right side. Trying to shake tacklers, can't do it, and will lose yardage on first down.
Well, they were true to their word about Najee Harris getting a little bit of work before the regular season. And truthfully, when Evan Washburn told us that Deontay Johnson had gone to the tent, I thought that might influence Mike Tomlin a little bit. Like, hey, I got one. Okay, go get Najee. But you've known Coach Tomlin a long time, Greg. He doesn't ever coach scared, does he?
No.
He doesn't worry about that part.
The fans might voice their displeasure about the regulars being out there. Mike Tomlin doesn't care.
No.
He'll do it the way he wants to do it.
I think his record shows he can call the shots.
Loss of 2, 2nd and 12. The Steelers from the 21. Near side of the field this time, and the catch is made short of the 15-yard line. Steven Sims, number 82.
Really nice play by Deshaun Elliott, who came over from the Baltimore Ravens. Right there on the coverage, and a good tackle to put him down on the spot. Something that Detroit really focused on in the offseason. Better tackling and giving up less yardage after the catch. Going into this week in the preseason, they've been number 1 in the NFL in limiting yards after catch by receivers.
Trubisky, 6 out of 7 for 62 yards. Trubisky on the slant, incomplete. Inside the 5-yard line, intended for Pickens and defended by Jeff Okudah.
And he had that one diagnosed and blanketed right from the beginning. Top of your screen, number 1 in white. Look at Okudah running at the hip of Pickens, and he's right there at the moment of truth when the ball arrives. A terrific play by the former number 1 selection out of Ohio State, Jeff Okudah.
So once again, Boswell, this time from 34 yards out. And that kick is up, and that kick is good. And with 12:32 to play here in the first half, the Pittsburgh Steelers on the leg.
All right. You guys are running the practice.
Let's go right hash, 11, right hash, 11, 11.
We'll go tight, wide, good.
Every time I've been around teams in this league that had success, man, the team, they regulated everything. They were on top of it. And then the coaches they teach technique. That's what today was about. You guys taking ownership, making it your own.
That little snippet courtesy of Hard Knocks. Dan Campbell instituting that little not players only action.
But it just tells you how you're influenced as a player yourself, right? That's a Bill Parcells trick, but Dan Campbell had his own twist on it.
From the 5-yard line, Craig Reynolds. And Reynolds hit hard as he crossed the 15-yard line. Mark Robinson leading the charge with that tackle. We get down to Evan.
And guys, it really speaks to the whole staff that Dan Campbell has put together. It's littered with former players and guys that aren't that far off from being on this field. 83 years of combined playing experience on that staff. So the conversation that these coaches have leading into these weeks to come up with ideas like that Monday practice, it all comes from that experience in the locker room as a player.
David Blau is in at quarterback for the Lions. Play fake, and he throws to the side, and that is grabbed by Jamar Jefferson.
And I go back to the point that Evan made about all those coaches, Greg, and their playing experience. You see the throw to Jefferson. That's a pretty good throw. double caught it. Nice job by Jefferson coming down with it. But their ability to take those playing experiences, what they absorbed from coaches from the past, and now incorporate it. Remember, Bill Parcells used to kick guys out of practice and say, you guys run the practice, but he was upset. Dan Campbell did it with a little twist of, I'm going to have you take ownership of this practice and see what you do with it.
This is Jefferson. Jefferson to the outside, and not much yardage there, and it's going to be 3rd and long as Levi Wallace comes up for the stop. Here's Blau in his 4th season out of Purdue.
I remember watching him at Purdue. Destroyed Ohio State one night when Ohio State was in the top 2 or 3 in the country. Oh my goodness. Did the same thing to Missouri at one point. This kid was capable of big games. And Greg, they told us that Boyle would play the first half, Blau the second. This change here speaks to the urgency in which his coaching staff wants to identify who's going to win this backup quarterback position.
Low snap, he handles it. On the move, across the 20, across the 25-yard line. And out to about, now we'll still call it the 25, but it's going to be 4th down.
Blau was an undrafted free agent coming out of Purdue. But the Lions found themselves in a quarterback quandary his rookie year, and they made a trade for him. He was with Cleveland, and they traded a draft pick for an undrafted free agent. And since that time, Blau's become a part of their rosters, made some starts in the past.
And they are going to go for it on 4th and 1. Justin Jackson in the backfield. See if Blau thinks about sneaking this for the first down. He does not. The give, and he may not have made it. I don't think he made it. Devin Bush led the charge for the tackle. And this ball will go over on downs.
And for a team that prides itself on how good their offensive line is and what they're capable of, they should pick this up 100 times out of 100 times. They should get that push, but they didn't. And right there in the hole, there's Devin Bush with the grab at the ankles and right in the middle. Number 51, Miles Jack, who came over from Jacksonville and met him in the hole and dropped him. Good job by the Steelers winning that line of scrimmage that Detroit believes they should dominate with their offensive line.
Yeah, coach would like to think that if you need a yard, you can pick it up.
And that's what they keep talking about. We want to play bully ball with our big offensive front. They didn't get it done on that snap.
Jalen Warren in the backfield. Trubisky fakes to him, throws to the near side. This is Pickens. And Pickens is bumped down at about the 26, maybe even the 25-yard line.
We didn't see the gifts that Evan Washburn described of George Pickens on display there because he's not in open field. It's not a ball where he's elevating over a defender. We'll see that come in the near future. I've been really impressed with this Detroit defense in this game. Every time someone catches a football, there's a white shirt on the spot ready to make a play.
No gain on the play, 2nd and 10. This is Warren, the rookie, trying to turn the corner on the far side and knocked out of bounds at about the 20.
And how about the Pittsburgh Steelers wide receivers, how the room has changed. It's not just Ben Roethlisberger, the quarterback. George Pickens coming in, Gunnar Olszewski coming in from New England, Miles Boykin for Baltimore, Juju Smith-Schuster off to Kansas City, James Washington in Dallas, hope he gets healthy soon, and Ray McLeod now with San Francisco. Pickens is the jewel of the bunch, though. I expect big things out of that young man in his rookie year.
He's spread to the far side of the field on 3rd and 5. Trubisky throwing. Oh! Close to the 10-yard line, but incomplete. Pat Freiermuth, the intended receiver, and we have a penalty marker on the field.
Looked like Alex Anzalone was involved in that play, the linebacker for Detroit. Helped make it tough on the catch.
Illegal formation. Offense. No one was on the line of scrimmage on the left side of the formation. That penalty's declined. It's 4th down.
Second time today, Greg, that penalty's been called on Detroit. The first time was on Taylor Decker, I believe, left tackle. This time he said the entire left side of the line. Everybody getting involved.
What do you think is the first thing they'll practice at the next
I think
session?
that they will practice understanding how you have to be on the line of scrimmage. You're allowed to be back a little bit as an offensive tackle, but half of your body cannot be back off the line of scrimmage and make it a tough angle for the pass rusher.
Boswell, author of 45 and 34-yard field goals, now from 38. And that is right down the middle. And with 8 minutes, 46 seconds to play here in the first half, it's 9-0 Pittsburgh. Well, you never know when you're going to run across a tiki bar when you need it. I promise you this, Charles, I will come and get you when the second half is about to start.
I appreciate you thinking your teammate like that. And got to get Evan, too.
Oh, Evan will already be there.
There's the man himself, Mike Tomlin, head coach of the Steelers. Look, no one likes kicking field goals all the time. These two teams played in the regular season last year in a 16-16 tie. And it may be the last game of preseason, but he and Dan Campbell eager to win this ball game.
Justin Jackson will run this one out from 2 yards deep. 20, 25, breaking up the sideline and out of bounds at the 40. But there is a flag down back at the 15-yard line.
Those are 3 good returns so far for Detroit. I know flags have gone down, but they've had good luck bringing the ball out in terms of bringing it and getting field position. Right now, Danny Smith, the special teams coach of the Steelers, can't be happy by what he's seen.
During the return, holding, receiving team number 49. Half the distance to the goal line, first down, Detroit.
That penalty is on Chris Board. Meanwhile, Mike Tomlin, boy, what a run he has had here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and that's pretty good company.
It's pretty good names. I mean, the all-time winning coach there, Don Shula. And then Marty Schottenheimer, who I don't think gets enough consideration for being one of the all-time coaches. I mean, the problem is you always walk, well, did he win a Super Bowl? Okay, not everybody wins Super Bowl.
Right.
But my goodness, Marty Schottenheimer put it together there. And now finally Don Coryell getting recognition as a possible member of the Hall of Fame, and he deserves it.
That pass over the middle, and that is complete. And there is David Blau, caught by Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Greg, I want to come back to something we talked about in the last series, and look at him zip that one through. Just gets it through the arms of the Pittsburgh defense. I think it was T.J. Watt at the line of scrimmage. Tim Boyle was supposed to play the entire first half for Detroit at quarterback. They didn't like what they saw out there. I feel like Dan Campbell said, I don't care what we said. We're trying to decide who our number 2 quarterback is. Let's see if Blau can get us going.
This is Justin Jackson, and Jackson out across the 30. You know what makes me wonder, though? What do you how do you think that bodes, as we have another flag, how do you think that bodes for the rest of the game? What's going to happen at the quarterback position?
Offense number 73. Half the distance to the goal, second down.
That penalty is on Jonah Jackson.
I think what it bodes, Greg, is if David Blau's moving this team, he's going to stay out there and solidify the position as the number 2. Right here, Jackson, 73 in white. There's the hold on Devin Bush, number 55. Remember, Jonah Jackson went to the Pro Bowl last year. Began his college career at Rutgers. How often do you get a Rutgers to Ohio State transfer? And he finishes at Ohio State, goes into the pros, goes to his first Pro Bowl last year. They like the physicality of Jonah Jackson up front. But I do think with Blau, if he moves this team and keeps moving them, he'll stay out there and win the position if indeed that happens.
This is 2nd and 12. Play clock down to 3, down to 2, and they get the snap off. This pass a little bit behind his intended receiver, Josh Reynolds.
Good coverage too by Minka Fitzpatrick on the read. The Pro Bowl All-Pro free safety sees it in front of him. And he sees it fast and gets up there. Watch 39 in black. Look at him. Boom. He was on the play. Ball thrown behind the receiver. But if he does catch it, there's going to be a collision at the catch point.
So 3rd and 12. They've converted a couple of lengthy first downs so far today. And from the goal line, he throws up the middle, and that is complete. And across the 25 to about the 27-yard line, and enough for a first down is Josh Reynolds.
So the evaluation of quarterback continues for the Detroit Lions. Look at Blau, clean pocket, sees the play right in front of him, puts it right on Amon-Ra St. Brown, their top target from last year, and picks up a lengthy third down. That's a big check mark in David Blau's favor. How do you do on the key downs? Third down, one of them.
How about the rookie season Amon-Ra St. Brown had last year?
And they really think he's going to continue to ascend, and I believe him.
Picks the ball up, throws it. That is complete to the near side. Caught by Reynolds out of bounds. Nice reaction by David Blau.
And how about the poise of David Blau there? Fumbles the snap, doesn't panic, stays with it, picks up the ball, stays with his reads. A lot of times when you drop the ball initially, you get ruffled and you get out of sorts.
Remember, he dropped the snap in the game in Atlanta in the preseason and cost them a possible win.
But he put that out of his head pretty quickly because he picked that one up, continued to play, and made a nice throw downfield.
Blau, all kinds of time, running out of time now, and he goes down at the 45-yard line. Delonte Scott putting the pressure on him on the far side of the field.
And that fits perfectly for, watch the right side, because Delonte Scott was a big-time pass rusher at SMU. He feels the pressure, the back getting out. Now he says, I'm going for the quarterback. Gets up there because he thinks Blau's going to throw the football. Blau has to pull it down and helps knock him to the turf. Playing to the strengths of Delonte Scott, what he brought with him from SMU.
5:40 to play here in the first half. 2nd and 17. That pass is incomplete, down low and into coverage. And it'll be 3rd and 17. And boy, the playbook has to go pretty deep for all the 3rd and longs that we've had so far in this game, and we haven't even reached halftime.
And what I think we need to look at right off the snap, how the Detroit offensive line lines up. We've already had those penalties on 3rd and longs twice where they've been back in the backfield trying to get an advantage. Are they on the line of scrimmage? See how far back they are already? Look where the center is, and look where everyone else is. See if these officials let them get away with this one.
No flag yet, and that pass is picked off. No, incomplete. At the 42-yard line. Terrell Edmonds with the diving attempt.
Nice play on the football by Edmonds. Been a starter since he was a first-round pick. Coming out of school, they didn't pick up his option one year, but he played well enough that they offered him another contract. He's been a mainstay back there with Minkah Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, the roving free safety. Edmonds playing underneath in the short zones.
Olszewski at his 10-yard line for the punt. High, booming kick. And into the end zone for the touchback. 5:17 to play in the first half. Detroit searching for a way to get on the scoreboard. They trail by 5 minutes, 17 seconds to play here in the first half. Mike Tomlin prowling the sideline as his offense tries to get something going before halftime.
And he's keeping his first-line guys out there, including Najee Harris, his running back. They have not had much consistency with this offensive line throughout preseason. Mike Tomlin wants to make sure they get a few extra snaps before they get into the regular season. And Najee Harris hadn't played at all in preseason, and he's going, looks like maybe the entire first half.
Just 3 first downs. 3 first downs for this Pittsburgh offense so far.
Like 20.
That pass is complete, and Pickens over the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Let's go down to Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, we know Deontay Johnson out of this game at the moment with a shoulder injury. Well, TJ Watt came off to the sideline after that previous series and was walking gingerly on that left leg, headed basically right into the locker room with Dr. Jim Bradley. He's currently still in there now. Now, it's important, guys. Preseason, guys are going to come out for anything, so you don't want to make too much of it, but 2 starters, 2 key players, and now TJ Watt in the locker room with what appeared to be a left leg injury.
All right, Evan, thank you. And 2 flags down in the backfield.
Offense number 22. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Harris with the early move.
And this is where Mike Tomlin would tell us, if I said, Coach, why Najee Harris the entire first half? Do you notice he didn't even have his timing down yet? I need to get him some snaps. Okay, Coach. All right. The big thing is the worry about injury, because Najee Harris, 381 touches last year. He's going to approach that number again this year, the way that they utilize him in this offense.
This is 1st and 15. Play fake. Deep down the near sideline. It is incomplete. Intended for George Pickens.
It's well covered, too, because there's not much room for George Pickens to come down with it. Savion Smith, the corner out of Alabama. See, what you want to do is have that route run about 5 yards inside of the white, and then you fade to the sideline to give him some room. He was so close to the line, to the sideline, when the fade happened, there was no room to come down with it.
So now it's 2nd and 15. And coming around the side is Gunnar Olszewski, and Olszewski is buried at about the 28-yard line. Back to Evan.
Guys, official word on T.J. Watt. He is out for the remainder of this game with a knee injury. Obviously, caution is the priority in any game, especially the preseason. But T.J. Watt out with that knee injury. Appeared to be the left knee when he was making his way into the locker room.
Okay, Evan, thank you.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be okay for the opener against Cincinnati, but definitely time to put up the red light. get the NFL Defensive Player of the Year out of this one.
Stick around at halftime, by the way, for Evan's interview with T.J. Watt. Right now, it's a 3rd and 15. With time. Pass to the near side is complete, and leapfrogging a tackler is Harris. Smith was the tackler.
So back-to-back plays, Savion Smith on the spot. The leap's going to get the oohs and ahs. But how about the play by Savion Smith, keeping him in front of him and making him resort to this type of play to try and get over the top, and unsuccessfully. This has been a very quick to the ball Lions defense here in this first half.
Maurice Alexander. He's back at the 20-yard line. And this ball will fly out of bounds. 2:44 to play. We'll take a break. Back in 30 seconds after this from Progressive Insurance.
The Loyal Order of Riders.
Riders, let your queries be known.
How come we don't call ourselves bikers anymore? I mean, riders is cool, but bikers, really cool.
Seriously?
Deny. Can we go back to meeting at the rec center? The commute here is brutal.
Deny.
How do we feel about getting a quote to see if we can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer?
Should Flo stop asking the same question every time?
Approved.
Denied.
Whoa.
Welcome back to Acrisure Stadium. David Blau still the quarterback for the Detroit Lions.
And he started to put something together on the last drive. It stalled out. He's trying to put something together now to kind of, you know, in golf, shoot a score, go to the clubhouse and let your opponent take a look at it. And that would be Tim Boyle.
This is Justin Jackson, and Jackson pulls his way close to a first down near the 30-yard line.
Did the ball come out?
It looks like it. Steelers say they have the football. No word yet, no. The Lions come up with the ball.
Alex Kemp, the referee, said, you need to ask me.
You know, this whole thing about the starters, it's got to be a tough decision for a coach. Are they game ready, or do you need the time and you chance the injury?
And it's all across the map when you look in the NFL. Sean McVay, from day one, has not played his starters in the preseason, and they come out sharp and strong each and every year. It all depends on your coaching and your philosophy.
Justin Jackson has the last carry before we hit the 2-minute warning. 150. A reminder, coming up, the Verizon Halftime Report. Adam Zucker brings you Jets-Giants highlights. Evan Washburn sits down with Steelers star linebacker T.J. Watt, all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Meanwhile, T.J. Watt out for the rest of this game. Watch the right side of your screen. Here comes Watt, and there is T.J. Hawkinson with the hit on the left knee that took Watt down and out of this game. And then just a little bit later, Hawkinson in something of an apologetic mood.
Yeah, T.J. Watt's not much mood to accept the apology. Did you notice that? And here's the thing. He's telling him, it's in the playbook, I have to do it. It's not a dirty play, it's a legal play. But there's not a defender alive who likes anyone diving at his legs. Offensive coaches have it in there to tap down the pass rush.
That pass in and out of the hands of Shane Zylstra. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Yeah, Greg and Evan, I will guarantee you Hawkinson's like, look, man, you know I don't want to do that. But that's the play call. And by the way, you get 22.5 sacks, they're going to do everything legal to try and slow you down.
3rd and 8. They need the 39-yard line for a first down. Blau throwing over the middle. Incomplete. Minka Fitzpatrick busting up the pass intended for Trinity Benson.
And he also had help on the inside because that throw's got to go over the head of Trey Norwood, but Fitzpatrick at his best as a roving free safety. You play the middle just like you would be a center fielder in baseball. Go where the ball is, make a play on it. Minka Fitzpatrick, if he can make a few less tackles in the run game this year and a few more plays in the pass game, that means the Steelers' defense is improved.
Steven Sims circles under this one inside his 15, retreats, and he's going to stay back there inside the 10-yard line. Good pursuit by the Detroit Lions. We're going to take a break. Back in 30 seconds after this from DirecTV.
With DirecTV, I can get live TV and on demand together. Football, Housewives. Football, Housewives. Football, Housewives.
Whoops. Oh, no. The Housewives are on the field. I repeat, the Housewives are on the field.
I just want to talk!
Who flips the table?
Get your TV together with the best of live and on demand. Call 1-800-DIRECTV.
So Mitch Trubisky is going to stay out there and apparently finish out this first half on his own. Minute 34 to play, each team with 3 timeouts remaining. Najee Harris is also still out there.
Taking it all the way through the first half, the Steelers' first line offensive unit.
Trubisky from his goal line throws over the middle, and that's complete to Harris, and we have a penalty marker down.
This is not the clean operation every coach preaches in the final preseason game. It's what they want, they're not getting it.
Illegal use of hands in the face. Defense number 2. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Penalty is on Austin Bryant.
With the number change where you can wear pretty much anything now, like in college football, when you hear 2, you're thinking defensive back. It's a defensive lineman. I actually don't mind it. I cut my teeth on college football, so I got used to it, and I thought it was okay. What I always say about college football is duplicate numbers. 2 guys wearing the same number. You know, I'm not crazy about that, but yeah, it does throw you. Your thinking has to change. You see Austin Bryant line up a defensive end at the top of the screen.
On first down, Trubisky throwing and complete, and across the 20 and out to the 23 and close to another first down is Sims.
Now Mitchell Trubisky gets a chance to run the 2-minute drill to end up the first half. If he's going to be the starter, this can be a better opportunity and a better situation for him to be evaluated. Yeah, it's got to be holding on the corner.
Incomplete. Another flag. The flag, the color of the day, is yellow.
It's not the terrible towel. It's a penalty flag. That's
Pass
Savion
interference.
Smith.
defense number 19. First down at the spot of the foul.
Smith is the second-year cornerback out of Alabama.
Remember, you get 5 yards to have your hands on the receiver. Okay, we're past 5 now. Hands are still there and the ball's in the air. Easy call for the officials and the correct one.
2 first downs on this series by the Steelers, both by penalty.
White 20, what's that?
Trubisky throws, and that's complete. Out to about the 45-yard line. That's Pat Freiermuth. And there is a timeout now with 52 seconds to play. To me, it seems to me the most intriguing question is what's going to happen at the quarterback position on both sides of the ball in the second half.
Agreed, and I do believe for Pittsburgh it's pretty cut and dry. We'll see Kenny Pickett, and I believe we'll see Mason Rudolph. With Detroit, they already threw us a curveball. We thought Tim Boyle first half, David Blau second half. But I do believe that Dan Campbell is telling his team every game counts for us. We have to learn how to win, and we have to find out who's going to seize the reins. It wasn't going well for Boyle. He threw Blau out there to see if he could change the momentum. We will see Boyle in the second half as well, I believe.
Yeah, Dan Campbell made it very clear to his team that winning feels good when they won that game against Indianapolis in the preseason, and he doesn't care how you get there.
No, they don't have enough of that built up in them where preseason not winning is not a big deal to them. They've got to learn how to win again, and that's what Dan Campbell's preaching to his team.
This is 2nd and 2. Another penalty. This pass is incomplete, overthrown to Najee Harris.
Holding. Offense number 76. 10-yard penalty, second down.
Chukwuma Okorafor, the right tackle, guilty again. Coming up, the Verizon Halftime Report. Highlights of the Jets and the Giants, as well as Evan Washburn's interview with T.J. Watt. Coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report.
I'm excited to see Evan's interview with TJ. I hope Evan kept his head on a swivel. You never know when another Watt brother might come into the fray, and Derek is in a Pittsburgh uniform, the starting fullback.
Well, the fact that Trubisky has played this entire first half, does that tell you he gets the start week 1?
I feel like they are tracking towards Mitchell Trubisky being the starter week 1. And let's face it, it's a little bit of a safer pick too, because you can always go to Pickett later. If you start Pickett early and it doesn't work out, harder to bench your number 1 pick.
That pass is complete to Connor Hayward.
Nice job by Trubisky staying in. Just notice just a few subtle steps to his left in order to get a better sight line.
Down the near sideline, and the pass is caught. Is he inbound? They say yes, and that is George Pickens.
Now this is where you build up a trust factor as a rookie receiver with your quarterback early, that he trusts that downfield you're going to win no matter what type of coverage you have. He puts it up there, lets Pickens make the adjustment, and he does come down with the football. Not too many rookie receivers are afforded that trust by quarterbacks this early.
22-yard pickup, 22 seconds on the clock for the first half. Trubisky down the middle of the field, and it's caught inside the 10 yards to the 5. That's Freiermuth. 1st and goal. And we have a timeout that stops the clock with 15 seconds to play. Nice pitch and catch.
It really was. And how about the evolution of the athleticism of the tight end? Because in the old days, you know where that ball would be? To the front side of Pat Freiermuth. But because he sees number 55, Derek Barnes, the linebacker for Detroit, Trubisky does, he throws it on the backside, understanding he has a tight end athletic enough that can make that adjustment and make that play. Beautiful observation by Trubisky. Trust again, and Freiermuth, a tremendous athlete, making the play.
60 catches last year for these Steelers. And Trubisky kind of finding himself this last part of the first half.
And what a way, if this is indeed the end of the game for Trubisky, if he can stick this one in the end zone, what a taste that'll leave in his mouth and an impression it'll leave on the coaching staff.
1st and goal. That pass on the slant. Touchdown, Steelers. Steven Sims.
Totally understanding that Mike Tomlin would say, Charles Davis, you worry about broadcasting, we'll take care of the roster. I do believe you're looking at your opening day starter right there for the Pittsburgh Steelers and Mitchell Trubisky. I think that cemented it right there if there was any doubt going in.
7 straight completions by Trubisky to close out this first half. 15 of 19, 160 yards, and a touchdown in his first half of work.
Some big-time throws on this drive by Trubisky, and this one absolutely perfect, and give Steven Sims credit for winning his route at the line of scrimmage, getting inside of the defender, and just saying, hey, quarterback, you put it in the spot, I've got it. But Sims won the route at the line of scrimmage, faked outside, came inside, and on that slant, Trubisky put it right on the 8 and the 2.
So if you are correct about Mitch Trubisky, then in the second half, we'll see a battle between Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph for the backup slot.
Yeah, and right now, the leader in the clubhouse is Kenny Pickett at number 2. I think it'd take a lot for Mason Rudolph to unseat him at this point as the number 2 guy. Pickett's picked up the offense so quickly. The extra year in college at Pitt, the poise, I think they really like what they have there. But I do think that Trubisky will start day 1 in Cincinnati.
Steelers went 92 yards in a minute 17 and capped it off with that touchdown.
And for most of the first half, the coverage very sticky by the Detroit Lions. But I really thought that you pointed something out very well, Greg. The throws that Trubisky made on that drive were really sharp and strong. And even with good coverage, good decisions, good throws, they beat that good coverage downfield.
Now, you know it's all part of the preparation process, but you sometimes wonder if it's fair to the guys who come in the second half and they don't have the number 1 line in front of them.
Everyone understands it's not fair. Can you exceed that? And I think that's what all coaches are looking for.
Final seconds of the first half tick away. The Pittsburgh Steelers finish on a high note. And that man, Mitchell Trubisky, working on cementing that starting spot. End of the first half, 16-0 Steelers. Halftime is next after these first half highlights from Verizon. We're getting set to start the second half. The Steelers with a 16-0 lead on the Detroit Lions. Let's check out the first half highlight presented by Crown Royal. Every time the Lions threatened to start something, Steelers stood in the way.
Yeah, there's Tim Boyle, the quarterback. He's looking for Josh Reynolds, number 8 in white. But Cameron Sutton, the defensive back for Pittsburgh, sitting right in the area. Really in the sight lines, but somehow Tim Boyle doesn't see him. He thinks he's got Josh Reynolds coming inside. And Cameron Sutton takes it the other way. And here to take a look at the first half stats, Greg. Passing yards heavily in favor of the Pittsburgh Steelers. They won the turnover battle. But penalties, that was the story of the first half.
12 in all. And nicely divided at 6 apiece. Anthony McFarland will not return this one out of the end zone. Let's go down to Evan.
Well, Greg, I spoke to Mike Tomlin and addressed the injuries to T.J. Watt and Deontay Johnson, the knee and the shoulder, respectively. And, guys, good news here. Mike Tomlin said, look, if this is a regular season game, we might see those guys back in this game, so there's no long-term concern at the moment for either player. As for Dan Campbell and the quarterback situation, he said, yeah, we realized we changed it up on our plan. The plan in the second half is for both to play. Tim Boyle obviously was pulled after that interception, but they're both going to get a shot to keep chasing that number 2 job here in the second half.
All right, Evan.
Yeah, I think get Greg and Evan. Blau did not come when he came in. He didn't totally lock it down, so they're still playing for that number 2 job.
Meanwhile, here's Kenny Pickett in at quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Pickett, the 20th overall pick in the draft, and from right nearby the University of Pittsburgh.
And he is a tremendous example of let things develop, let things play out, meaning Kenny Pickett's career, his senior season at Pittsburgh, his last season, more touchdown passes in that 1 year than in the previous 4 combined.
There's a quick pass. And out close to the 40-yard line, complete to Gunnar Olszewski. And we have a flag.
There is no foul on the play. The result of the play is a first down.
So, you know, the question constantly, as you take a look at this pass play, the question constantly is not necessarily can he play, because a lot of them can play in college. It's can he play at this level?
That is always the question. And for the Pittsburgh Steelers fans and for the organization, it was, can he play right now? You know, does he give us our best option, our best hope of winning football games right out of the gate?
This is the rookie running back, Jalen Warren, and not much there.
I will say this, Greg. I think if Mitchell Trubisky had not been sharp in the preseason, they would have had no hesitancy if Kenny Pickett played the way that he has of him being the #1 quarterback. But Trubisky has given them the option, and he's given them the luxury of bringing him on just a little bit slower, and that's okay with them. And they'll see how things turn out starting in Cincinnati, I believe. I do think Trubisky will be the starter.
That was T.J. Watt you saw sitting on the sideline. This is Steven Sims. And Sims wrestled down just across the 40-yard line at about the 41, maybe the 42-yard line. It'll be third down.
And that's a pass completion for Kenny Pickett. You pitch it forward like that. Goes down as an attempted pass and a completion. Yardage wasn't great, but the completion percentage continues to skyrocket when you have those in your repertoire.
Anywhere you can get them.
Quarterbacks will never turn those down for pass and pass attempts.
3rd and 6. McFarland in the backfield along with Pickett. Pickett on the move, throwing downfield, incomplete. We have another flag there. You know, you talk about those stats. My favorite for the quarterback is a little short pass, and then the guy takes it 90.
Holding
through the bomb.
Offense number 53. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
That penalty is on Kendrick Green.
It's Randy Fichtner, the former offensive coordinator here in Pittsburgh, told me a couple years ago. What we love in our offense is when we throw it short and they run it long.
So Maurice Alexander is back at his own 10-yard line as the Lions enter the second half looking for some kind of a spark.
Be interesting to see who comes out to start at quarterback for Detroit. Dr. Dan Campbell told Evan Washburn both of them would play.
High, short punt. Alexander. Fair catch made at the 15-yard line. Look who's number 12, David. Tim Boyle on the field. Welcome back, everybody. Representing one piece of larger efforts to reduce avoidable head impacts and to advance the health and safety of players, this is the Guardian Cap, a padded covering that goes over the shell of the helmet. When worn by one player, it results in at least a 10% reduction in severity of impact and at least a 20% reduction if 2 players are. The league required it be worn by offensive and defensive linemen, linebackers, and tight ends during all preseason practices up until the 2nd preseason game.
Count me in for applause for that. Anything to help these guys out.
The handoff is to Justin Jackson, and Jackson works his way out close to a first down, close to the 25-yard line.
Now there's a follow-up on Evan Washburn's report about T.J. Watt and Deontay Johnson. It doesn't appear that either one will miss significant time, if at all. No brace, right? No wrap, no ice on T.J. Watt's legs, and that's a good deal. But yeah, the teeth are getting straightened out. You know, I'm with him on the Invisalign. I got to work on that myself.
On 2nd and 1, play fake, and now the short pop, and that's complete to Jackson. And Jackson rambling up the sideline, leaps, and is finally down.
That's complete to Jackson.
Into Pittsburgh territory. He's going to be marked down at about the 44-yard line.
What were you saying about short tosses that go a long way?
Quarterback's best friend.
But it was a good decision by Tim Boyle because he was looking downfield. He wanted something on the deeper levels, didn't have it, and not afraid to take the check down. And Justin Jackson turned into a lot more.
DeMonte Casey being looked at on the ground as we take a break. Welcome back to Pittsburgh, and another Steeler has walked off in some to rest. That is DeMonte Casey, 6th year back out of San Diego State on this play.
They're trying to make the tackle on Justin Jackson. Watch his left hand as it comes down. Right hand clean, left hand underneath. And it looks like that's where he's grabbing the left wrist. Hopefully he'll be okay. I'll tell you, he's an exciting, aggressive player and will fit in perfectly with the scheme that Terrell Austin and Mike Tomlin install here in Pittsburgh as a defensive back.
This is only the 4th play in Pittsburgh territory for the Detroit offense. Boyle throwing up high, incomplete. Going up after it was Trinity Benson.
Felt like he was a half count late on the break, on the throw, right? Anticipate the break, and the ball's got to be gone. Watch Benson, right? Boom, go ahead and let it loose, because Benson's going to make that turn. He's a little about half count late and high with it. And now that allows the guys in the black shirts to rally. James Pierre making a play on the ball.
Incomplete, 2nd and 10. This one will go on the ground. Justin Jackson, the former LA Charger, 4 years with the Chargers, his first season here in Detroit, out of Northwestern University.
Tremendous special teams player during his time with the Chargers.
So that old thorn in the side now for Detroit, 3rd and long.
If you're going to win the quarterback job and needing the backup job for Detroit, converting these 3rd downs goes a long way towards influencing the coaches to give you that job.
Looks like got him to jump up front. The long pass in there. Little tackle made by the offense, so some flags fly down there.
Smart play by James Pierre, understanding the flags had already flown. It was a free play, and if you let him go, that could turn into a big one. Go ahead and tackle him as well. Penalty's already been established.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both by the defense. Offside, number 46 is declined. Pass interference, number 42 is accepted and placed at the spot of the foul. 1st down, Lions.
James Pierre.
See, it's a free play, and if you just let it go, that could turn into something really big. Go ahead and take the interference penalty. Make them continue to snap the ball.
New set of downs. Detroit now at the Pittsburgh 26. Here's Justin Jackson again, and Jackson with a little running room up the middle inside the 20 to about the 17.5-yard line.
And that was a good job by the Detroit offensive line, especially the left side. Watch how they get everyone moving and allow Justin Jackson to make the cutback. Everybody moving this way. Now the cutback happens here. He's able to read everyone moving and zone blocking. Everyone find a gap, find a person, move them in that direction. Let the running back make the decision.
Craig Reynolds in the backfield on 2nd and 2. Fake to him, the pass batted down. Just as Boyle released it.
So the rookie out of Texas A&M to Marvin Leal. So these Steelers, I talk about Carl Dunbar, the defensive line coach. Boy, he does a good job coaching them, Greg, because every time they make a pass rush, if they're not near the quarterback and that ball's in the air, do you see those hands that are up? How many times have they affected passes already in this game?
This is Detroit's first red zone trip. They're looking at a 3rd and 2 now at the 18-yard line. Quick pass, and again batted down at the line of scrimmage to Marvin Leal.
Well, Coach, they're certainly listening to what you're putting out there. Look at there. Look at, again, another hand gets into the passing lane and bats it away. I know Hayward had 2 himself in the first half. Leal's had 2.
Austin Seibert from 36 yards out. And the Lions finally hit the scoreboard with 10:01 to play. In the 3rd quarter, the drive stalls in the red zone. They put 3 on the board, 16-3 Pittsburgh. Hey, the future of football is here. The question is, are you in? The NFL celebrates youth and high school football year-round, including both flag and tackle football. Boys and girls leagues starting all the time. To get in on the action, visit playfootball.com. Find a league near you. We had some youth football out on the field at halftime today. The Mars Meteors taking on the Butler Golden Tornado.
Next year, can we get a different color jersey for one team? I thought it was inter-squad scrimmage at first. Those are two teams both wearing gold jerseys.
Picky.
I am, aren't I? Parents are like, you know what the first jersey cost?
Anthony McFarland from his own 7. And with some good yardage up the sideline, gets it close to the 30-yard line. And here comes Kenny Pickett again. You know, we talked about how excited Aiden Hutchinson is to be playing in Detroit. How about our conversation with this young man?
And here's the beauty of it. Aiden Hutchinson went to where he wanted to go, right? And there's Pitt, where Kenny Pickett matriculated from in honor of Len Dawson.
Played some games here at this stadium.
And remember, they share a practice facility and the stadium, Pitt and the Steelers.
Setting up the screen. This is McFarland, and McFarland to about the 38-yard line. He is brought down there. It'll be second down.
But you know, I talk about Hutchinson. He wanted to go to Detroit. Got his wish at the #2 pick when Jacksonville took Trayvon Walker. Kenny Pickett was obviously the pick, no pun intended, of Pittsburgh because he was the first quarterback taken. They had their pick of all the quarterbacks on the board at 20. That told them how they felt about Kenny Pickett. Not a consolation prize. He was the guy they wanted.
Yep.
And were able to get him at 20 when no one else took a quarterback ahead of them.
McFarland picks up the first down. By the way, we saw that fall and then walking off the field. Demonte KZ, he is out for the remainder of this game with that wrist injury.
And again, I'm sure obviously everyone hopeful that he'll be okay for the season opener September 11 in Cincinnati.
Benny Snell is now in at the running back position for the Steelers. Pickett on the pick slant, got his man, and out to midfield is Miles Boykin, the fourth-year receiver out of Notre Dame.
For just his third NFL game, Greg, does this young man not look comfortable to you? I mean, he looks very comfortable out there. I'm not saying he's got it all down, but you don't see those herky-jerky movements, right? You don't see the extra emotion coming out of him. Very comfortable in his drop and delivery.
He was a little too comfortable talking to us.
He's like, are we done here?
Look at the breakthrough and still fighting for yardage inside the 45-yard line is Benny Snell. That's another first down. Let's go down to Evans.
Greg, thanks, here with Cam Hayward, who's entering year 12 in the NFL. When I say that, what comes to mind?
I feel like you're trying to date me. You're trying to make me old. You know, it is what it is. I've seen a lot of football and looking forward to some more.
When you look at this defense and the work you guys have put in over the course of training camp, with what you have coming back, what you brought in, what do you like about the group?
I like the experience. I like how we brought in a guy like Miles Jack who can play downhill. Some new corners that are excited to play with. And, you know, up front, I think we have a really good squad.
What's it been like to witness this quarterback competition from your perspective?
Man, it's different. You know, we've had 7 back there this whole time, and, you know, we've never had a question there. But, you know, the crazy thing is they've all competed very well. Mason, Mitch, Kenny, you know, each one has done really well during camp and, you know, not made it easy on the others.
Lastly, your brother's on this team, Connor? Yeah, I don't know if you knew that. I heard you actually finally got to play with them recently. Walk us through that.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you're good luck. This is good luck for you guys.
Yeah, we finally got to play against each other in practice. I dogged him a little bit, and then I just started laughing because I was like, it brought me back to those days of just, you know, roughhousing in the house. And then at the end, he just tried to get a little shove like he was doing something. But, you know, they waited the entire camp for me to actually get a play on him. So, you know, we just got to get used to it, but I'm excited for it.
Very cool. Cam, as always, appreciate the time. Good luck this year.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Evan, thank you very much. What a catch by Miles Boykin, and now the pass to the near side, and that's Olszewski. Roughhousing Cam. Cam has a few years.
What do you say? 10 years on little bro.
Yeah, you could roughhouse all day long like that.
And Greg, that pass Pickett threw, to Boykin, another example of if you're a receiver coming into this league and you can't adjust, if you can't make adjustments, body control, you can't play now. It used to be the onus was on the quarterback to throw it so accurately to a spot. Now it's just put it in an area. You make the play on it. Just keep it away from the defensive back. And that's what Pickett did on that throw. Away from Bobby Price, the DB, and told Miles Boykin, you make the play, you make it right, and he did.
A little confusion leads to a timeout for Pittsburgh. Here's that play.
Now watch how Boykin goes downfield, work as Bobby Price, number 27. See, he's looking inside. In the old days, that ball's thrown inside, and you got to go up and compete for it. Now they tell you throw it away from the defender. And by the way, offensive receiver, that's your job. Go get it. And if you can't do that now, you can't play in this league. You're not going to be drafted. It's not on the quarterback to be as precise. It's on you to make him right. That's what he just did.
That's not an errant throw. It's supposed to be.
That's exactly where it's supposed to be.
By the way, going back to Evan's conversation with Cam Hayward, if you were, there's his younger brother, he referenced number 7 used to be in there if you're new to planet Earth. And Roethlisberger.
Yeah, you know, that just tells about you and me. I'm so glad you picked that up because it just sounded natural to us. Oh yeah, we might want to tell people who 7 is, even though we assume everyone knows.
Benny Snell not able to get anywhere, and it's going to be 3rd down.
And Kenny Pickett, remember how we were talking about how comfortable he was? See him talking to his bench? He wanted to make a throw on that play. I think he had a play call in mind that he wanted. And he's letting the bench know, give me something I can work with here. Confident young man, and deservedly so based off of what he did coming out of college and how he's acclimating so quickly here in the NFL.
3rd and 10. Has time, on the move, looking downfield, throwing incomplete. Intended for Olszewski and defended well by Mark Gilbert.
Well, he stayed with it. Talk about Mark Gilbert, because Kenny Pickett kept that play alive a long time, and usually someone springs free. A defender gets lost, but not in this case to Mark Gilbert. Not only that, not only was the coverage good, he had pressed him to the sideline so much that even if he's not there to cover it, there's no way Olszewski comes down with that football in bounds.
Here's Chris Boswell, 3 out of 3 today, from 45, from 34, from 38. This one from 29. And that one is blocked. Just off of his foot and nailed at the line of scrimmage, and this ball will go over to the Detroit Lions. 4:56 to play, 3rd quarter, 16-3, and Detroit gets the ball back. Terrible towels are out as the Detroit Lions take over at the 20-yard line after the blocked field goal by Austin Bryant. Justin Jackson is in the backfield as the Lions try to get more than just 3 on the board. Running room right side, 1st down yardage. Out to the 30-yard line. Well, somewhere upstairs in the booth, it's difficult to see with all the flashing lights, is the new addition to the head coaching staff, or the coaching staff here in Pittsburgh, Brian Flores, the former Miami head coach, hired by Mike Tomlin.
And what a terrific hire, because you're talking about hiring an accomplished guy who let this play out here.
Boyle completes it across the 35 to the 37.
I mean, he was a defensive coordinator with New England Patriots, highly successful. Head coach with the Dolphins. They had them within a game of the playoffs his 2nd year as the head coach after a rough start. And then last year, I think expectations were a lot higher. Could not believe they got off to a 1-8 start, but battled back to within a game of playoff contention before not making it. So it was a surprise he wasn't there anymore. So Mike Tomlin's hiring a very accomplished coach. And yes, is there an extra aspect of it with everything going on with Brian Flores and diversity in the coaching ranks? Sure. But they're also hiring an extra head coach to help out you in your duties. I mean, think about what Dan Campbell did with his staff in Detroit. All these former players, people he could lean on, people he could count on. Brian Flores counts like that for Mike Tomlin, and that's a big, big addition.
I thought it was really interesting when I asked Mike Tomlin why he hired Brian Flores, and then he went on for 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah. And remember his first sentence? Because he's a darn good football coach. That was the lead off right there. And that's where it starts and should start each and every time you make a hire. Is this person a good football coach? Is he going to add something to your organization, to your team? Brian Flores fits the bill every time.
Tim Boyle on 3rd and 3. Rolling, throwing, incomplete. And they will bring out the punting unit.
I mean, one last thing on that. I mean, think about, Greg, you covered Miami last year, probably when they're struggling and maybe when they got hot later. How many teams do you see start 1-8 and turn it around like that if the head coach doesn't have the players' respect?
And the thing that impressed me throughout his tenure with the Dolphins is his players play hard for him.
Absolutely, because they could have tanked that season totally, right? They could have been done. And they turned that around, and that got really close to making the playoffs.
Tyler Vaughns makes the fair catch.
And now he also helps Terrell Austin, who's their new defensive coordinator. He's been a defensive coordinator in the league before, so it's not his first time doing it. But now that's another mind on the defensive side of the ball. Imagine thinking that strategy session. Mike Tomlin, defensive coordinator and the NFL head coach. Terrell Austin, defensive coordinator. Brian Flores, defensive coordinator, head coach. Think they're going to get some defense talked about there? I think so.
Yeah. Evan.
Well, guys, the players echo everything you're saying, too. You talked to T.J. Watt, and he said Flores is just a wealth of knowledge, just the little things that he can drop in, some nuggets. And Cam Hayward mentioned, he talks to him about Richard Seymour, Vince Wilfork, guys inside that he worked with that he wants to take something from. A guy in year 12, and Cam Hayward looks at Flores as a resource because there's so many great players he's been around.
Yeah, Evan, and you know,
great point.
There's this. The linebackers have always been such a point of emphasis for Pittsburgh, and with Brian Flores there, you figure they're only going to get more lethal.
Hey, listen, they are the engine that drives this machine here in Pittsburgh on defense. But I love what Evan talked about Cam Hayward saying, tell me about Richard Seymour, who just went to the Hall of Fame. What did he do that made him great? Vince Wilfork is going to be a Hall of Fame candidate. Nice throw there.
Complete to Tyler Vaughn. And that's a first down across the 35 to about the 38-yard line.
Greg, I think in the first half we were talking about, what about the backups not playing with the front line guys? How do you make an impression? You make an impression by making the backup unit better. Kenny Pickett, okay, I'm not playing the front line guys. These are all backup guys. What if he fashions a drive downfield and scores a touchdown? Right? Extra bonus points for doing it without the first line guys.
Yes. Pickett 7 of 9 throwing the football, and the handoff here goes to Jalen Warren, the rookie out of Oklahoma State.
Now, this is my favorite part about the evolution of Kenny Pickett at Pitt. First 4 years, not bad numbers, nothing that you're going to, scream about. Oh, he's doing okay. Look at the jump in touchdown passes. His first 4 years, 39 total. His senior season, or last season, 42. Everything came together. The knowledge he accumulated, the growth, the maturity, as well as better players around him.
By the way, this preseason, Kenny Pickett is not throwing very many incomplete passes. Coming into this game in the preseason, he was 19 of 22, and today he's 7 out of 9.
He stayed accurate, and what did Mike Tomlin say he looks for in quarterbacks when he evaluates them? One of them is anticipation. The second, professional accuracy. I think you illuminated it there, partner.
3rd and 3. He's going to throw for it, and that is complete across midfield, and that's another Steeler first down. Cody White on the receiving end.
So there's that accuracy you were just describing.
Let's go down to Evan.
Guys, just to set the scene down here, Kenny Pickett is a cult hero in this town, and this crowd right now is chanting his name in unison. Trubisky might be the guy in week 1, but there's no secret here. This stadium wants 8 and black to be the guy under center.
No, there's no doubt about it, Evan. From the moment his name was called for the NFL draft, they envisioned that day coming.
There's another completion again to Tyler Vaughns. And his forward progress is going to be marked at about the 42-yard line of the Detroit Lions. And we are in the final seconds of the third quarter. So that'll take us to the end of 3. Acrisure Stadium, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the last preseason game of the 2022 season. Pittsburgh Steelers in charge, 16-3. We're coming back for the fourth quarter in just a moment. Evan Washburn was just telling us a few moments ago about all the shouting for Kenny Pickett downstairs. There are some Kenny Pickett Pitt jerseys on the scene.
People have been shouting with their wallets. That's for sure.
There's another one.
And I like that Pitt brought back the old school Pitt. They got him out of that dark blue, got back to that shade right there. My college coach Johnny Majors won a national championship here at Pittsburgh with those Panthers and Tony Dorsett leading the way.
This is Benny Snell.
So I asked for this to be built because Joe Burrow, Zach Wilson, the year before they were drafted, had good numbers, okay numbers, you know. But look at the jump both of them made. Both of them were consensus by scouting places by the NFL, third-day grades, meaning rounds 4 through 7 in 2008 to 2019. By the time it all played out, Joe Burrow went number 1 overall in the draft, Zach Wilson number 2 overall. Kenny Pickett made a similar jump and went number 1 as the top quarterback in this year's draft. Let it play out.
Benny Snell spinning for a first down just inside the Detroit 35-yard line. Pickett, in case you're wondering, 9 of 11 throwing today for 92 yards.
You know what's fun about this crew? I kind of come up with a half-baked idea, and people put it together and make it right. Adam Cohen, Boots Jenkins hooking me up with that stat.
Down the sideline and falls incomplete. Off the fingertips of Tyler Vaughns.
I don't know what it says if they can understand me, but we'll go past that. Xavier Smith trying to cover. Ball's well thrown. And Xavier Smith never gets his head around to make a play on it. But he did a good job getting one arm and pulling it down so he couldn't haul it in. Made it tough to make the catch, but it was a well-thrown ball by Pickett.
You saw Mason Rudolph there on the sideline alongside Mitch Trubisky, wondering when he will get into this game, or if. On 2nd and 10, Pickett. Pickett gonna go deep. Just off the fingertips. Intended for Tyler Snead. And it'll be 3rd and 10.
You noticing the different throws he's making? When he has to drive it, he drives it, right? The touch pass we saw to Vaughns that was missed. How about how he lofted that one up to try and give his receiver an opportunity downfield, Tyler Snead, to run under it and make a catch.
When he's off, he's not off by much.
No, he's not.
And he's had a couple dropped on him.
Greg, he's like a good veteran pitcher who knows how to change speeds, location, put it in the right spot.
3rd and 10. Out to the near side. That's complete, and he is marked down. That's Connor Hayward.
Really good tackle in the open field there by Chase Lucas. Dropping right there on the spot.
Hayward, a running back at Michigan State, now trying to win a tight end position.
Yeah, they moved him all over, Greg. The Spartans did. Running back, H-back, tight end, fullback, ran back kicks, kickoffs, did a little bit of everything.
Cameron sitting down with his little brother.
You know what do you think he's saying to him? You know, you still didn't block me in practice.
Boswell from 54 yards, and it's good. So the Steelers rebound from that blocked field goal attempt. Boswell kicks it through, and Pittsburgh extends its lead to 19-3. Yeah, when we brought up that whole brotherly thing, and the Steelers team doesn't lack in sibling, but he said he had quite the age difference. And I'm thinking that's a good thing for Cameron.
Yeah, not bad at all, right? And the opportunity, even with a 10-year gap, somehow found a way that is the possibility of them being teammates in the regular season. On the far side of Connor Hayward, that coach, that's Alfredo Roberts, who was a good tight end in the NFL and does an excellent job coaching these youngsters now. But remember, the decision was made early by Pittsburgh when they drafted Connor Hayward. They didn't draft him for the fullback spot. That's Derek Watt, another part of the brothers. They said, you're going to go play tight end.
Parents' Day is going to be really big around here when it comes by.
Well, we had Kids' Day here, didn't we?
In 2 weeks, week 1 of the NFL on CBS regular season begins with outstanding doubleheader action. Early games featuring these Steelers facing the defending AFC champion Bengals. The Patriots taking on Tua and the Dolphins. Later, Mahomes and the Chiefs go on the road for a clash with Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. We will get you set with all of the storylines at noon Eastern time with the NFL Today. All hail Sunday. We'll see you in 2 weeks for the return of the NFL on CBS.
And you know, that Panthers-Browns game, it has a little intrigue for some reason, right? And it's some Mayfield guy with Cleveland.
On the run and a big hole on the left side for Craig Reynolds.
Wow, that was blocked up well, wasn't it? You mentioned the left side. Watch these guys get up here and create that space. And watch 46 Craig Reynolds read it. Cut! And look at that. Good job on the gap. Being able to get upfield. Logan Stenberg, 71, sealed him on one side. Now allowed Reynolds to get upfield.
You know, we use the phrase a lot, but that is exactly how it's drawn up. That pass to the far side, and David Blau is the quarterback now, by the way. That is intended for Khalil Plimpton.
You know, neither one of these quarterbacks is just going out and seizing the set backup job, I think, Greg. I think both of them are playing, but no one is leaving their coaches with the impression of he has to be the guy, which means all their body of work prior to today comes into play with this as well. And I will guarantee you at some point, Dan Campbell's going to say gut feeling and name one of them number 2.
Out into the flat and complete to Reynolds and out of bounds. Let me ask you this then. Does that, and we have a flag down, if that's the case, then does that backup position fluctuate through the season depending on who had the better week of practice?
It possibly could. It very well
Pass
could.
interference. Offense number 15. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Penalties on Maurice Alexander.
But I do think overall they're going to want to put one guy in there. He's the guy because there's a rhythm to your week and how you work, right? The backup does this, the number 3 guy does that, and they're going to want to keep it that way and have the team just kind of understand it. And let's be honest about it. You don't want them taking many snaps anyway, as we see today. Has anyone seized this job?
Not yet.
The answer is no.
2nd and 20. Blau looks left, throws right, and it is complete. That's Maurice Alexander close to midfield. That's about 2 yards shy of a first down. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Good sharp throw there by Blau, and good protection afforded him by his front wall.
Clock continues to move. 11:35 to play here in the 4th quarter. So right now, I'm guessing Dan Campbell is looking for consistency somewhere.
And he just got a nice throw from Blau. What's the word everyone uses? Stacking. Can you stack another throw after that?
That quick pass, and that's complete for a first down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line.
All right, that's 2 in a row.
That's Tom Kennedy on the receiving end.
And he's been a flash in the preseason for the last couple of years. A college football lacrosse player. Gave up football for a couple of seasons to focus on lacrosse. Came back to it later. And he's a guy that just finds himself open in the preseason. They've given him extra work on special teams to give him a better chance to try and earn a job on the team.
He had 2 touchdown catches against Indy their last time out. This is Reynolds again, and Reynolds again finding the running room on the left side inside the 40 to the 38-yard line.
And who are those guys on the left side there in the game now? It's not the front line offensive line. So on the left side, Big Dan Skipper, number 70, and Logan Stenberg, 71. And the center's number 63, Evan Brown. They've got something going on that side of the line of scrimmage when they want to run the ball.
Well, they found something that's working, and it continues to work. Reynolds Reynolds to the 20-yard line and another first down, as the Lions are using the ground game to tremendous effect.
And remember that left side, but watch the vision of Craig Reynolds. He sees how it's blocked, and he bends it back to the right side where there's open space after the initial blocks at the line of scrimmage. A really good read by Craig Reynolds out of Kutztown to get upfield for big yardage.
38 yards rushing on the day for Reynolds. And a no set of downs. Godwin Ikwebuike in the backfield. Gets the handoff. Can't get a hit of steam underway, and he's brought down by Donovan Jeter.
Did you notice how he thinks he stayed on top of the defender when he rolled and kept his legs moving, and I don't think that they ever blew it dead. Really smart play by Ikwebuike. See how he stays on top of the defender? But there's the elbow touching, so that he should be down right there. Looks like they got away with one because no one's bringing that one back. And here comes Mike Tomlin saying, do I have to do this? You didn't see that?
Good practice.
The ruling on the field is that the runner rolled over bodies and was not down. Pittsburgh has challenged that ruling.
Our first challenge of the day.
Let the head coach loosen up the pitching arm a little bit.
While we get used to that, we'll take a timeout. 8:45 to play in the fourth. Well, chug a little refreshment while we wait for the decision. And here's Alex Kemp.
It has to come back. We saw the elbow.
After review, the runner's elbow was down at the 20.5-yard line. It'll be second down at that spot. Please reset the game clock to 9:16. It will start on my signal.
I think they could have actually
Pittsburgh
got it
is not
twice.
charged with a timeout.
Although the first one you could dispute a little bit. The elbow, indisputable. Indisputable. This you could probably say yes, down right there. Okay, you see that right there? He's down. But at the same time, okay, if you're going to say that that's inconclusive, the elbow was conclusive.
So on second down, the pass to the sideline, and that is complete inside the 15 to Khalil Plimpton, and then he was hit hard. Justin Lane coming over to knock him out of bounds.
Templeton, the rookie out of Central Michigan, has had a few moments throughout training camp. But boy, it's a tough receivers room he's trying to break into. They have a lot of really young, talented players that can play on the perimeter for Detroit.
3rd and 3. Ball throws sideline inside the 10, complete to the 8-yard line. Craig Reynolds for the first down, and it'll be 1st and goal. Reynolds, one of those fighting for a spot in that backfield rotation.
Yeah, we know number 1 and number 2 are set. DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams. Crowded group. Ikwebuike, Reynolds, Jefferson, Justin Jackson vying for running backs 3 and 4.
Blau gives it to Reynolds, and Reynolds tripped up before he got started. Carlos Davis, another one of those siblings on the Steeler defense. Carlos Davis and his brother Khalil, both D linemen.
And the tough part is for most siblings, they play different positions. So it's really not that type of competition. These two play defensive line. I mean, it could come down to one of them as opposed to both of them making the team.
Ikwebuike in the backfield on 2nd and goal from about the 7. Corner of the end zone. Incomplete. Tom Kennedy could not hold on. It'll be 3rd and goal.
That's a good throw, too. Kennedy just unable to grip it and hang on to it. Carlins Patel Also wears 30 with Jalen Warren. He helps break that one up.
Third and goal.
It's like, ah!
Blau on the slant. Falls incomplete.
Looked like
for Iggy Buchanan.
Yeah, sorry about that, Greg. Looked like linebacker Buddy Johnson helped get involved. There's a Davis trying to make a play. Buddy Johnson draped on him.
That contact might have come a bit early.
Yeah, I think so. And I don't think the ball was tipped, which would have allowed him to get there. But the officials letting them play it out here to finish out preseason.
4th and goal as the Lions go for it. That pass to the line, to the goal line, and it's incomplete. It's ruled incomplete to Will Pippleton. He had it.
Just a flat-out drop. There's no other way to describe it. And those are the types of things when you're trying to make a team, you have no margin for error. And Blau took his team down there. One of the better drives of the game for Detroit, if not the best drive, and they still come away empty.
Mason Rudolph at quarterback for the Steelers. This is Jalen Warren, the rookie running back from Oklahoma State. So there is Kenny Pickett. His day is done. 10 of 14, 90 yards, no touchdowns, no interception.
There's a really good shot right there of what I believe are the two quarterbacks for Pittsburgh this year. Trubisky to begin the season as QB1. Pickett waiting in the wings as QB2, but would not be surprised when we get his opportunity before this season concludes.
Warren again. Warren, no place to go. They lose yardage. And it'll be 3rd down and 10. Five NFL seasons Rudolph has with the Steelers. Only 10 total starts. And last year, his only start was against Detroit.
And this is where Pittsburgh has the decision to make. Omar Khan, their brand new general manager, Mike Tomlin, head coach. That personnel department, do you keep 3 quarterbacks in this roster, or are you keeping 2?
Rudolph throwing, sideline, incomplete. And a flag is thrown. Tyler Vaughn's the intended receiver.
He did a good job jumping back into it, didn't he, Greg?
Will Harris covering. Let's take a look.
Watch Vaughn's number 80 as he gets upfield against Will Harris, and then he sees
Pass
the ball.
Interference.
He comes
Defense
back and he
number
makes sure he
25.
sells it well.
Spot foul.
With Will Harris having his hands on it.
Pittsburgh.
So it's an automatic first down. The NFL spot foul. Ball goes to where the penalty occurred in that situation. And last thing, Greg, Mike Tomlin addressed it with us and addressed it with the local media. What if someone calls about Mason Rudolph? I think his intention is to keep him around, but he said, if you're coming, you better come strong with it.
Yeah, that quick pass is a little bit behind Tyler Snead. Just a touch.
Now Mason Rudolph, if indeed he is the 3, he may wish that the offer isn't so strong, right? Just give me a shot.
Mason Rudolph, 5th year out of Oklahoma State. Coming into this game, completing passes at a 72% clip in the preseason.
The one word you heard from all the teammates, coaches, was just how professional he's been through this process. Losing ground to the rookie Pickett, even though he's been around for a while. And then Mike Tomlin challenged him. Said, listen, you're going to play with the 3rd string group. You're better than that. What does Mike Tomlin call it? The JV? Said, when you're playing the JV, you're supposed to be a varsity quarterback. You be better. And he did that in Jacksonville. So you like what he saw. And he referenced what? Mike Tomlin referenced who in the past? Charlie Batch. right, who was here before, who did that sort of a thing. So the standard is the standard in Pittsburgh.
Mike Tomlin majored in motivation.
Can you imagine Mike Tomlin in the sandbox at the age of 5 motivating the other kids?
Down the middle. Oh! Incomplete. Almost grabbed by Jace Sternberger.
Looked like a nice throw by Rudolph down the middle of the field as well. Nice tight coverage there by number 57, Anthony Pittman. Would have been a really difficult catch, but the ball was put in a good spot, and Jace Sternberger trying to bring it in one-armed.
Maurice Alexander drifting back under this one, and he'll be able to return this one from his 20. Nowhere to go across the 25 and down at about the 27-yard line. Well, this one is always tough for those of us who were really close to him. The NFL and the media community all saddened by the loss of Jason Jenkins, the Dolphins' senior vice president of communications, who died unexpectedly yesterday at age 47. Jason spent nearly 14 years with the Miami Dolphins after 7 with the 49ers, described as an icon in the Miami community. And we all send our sympathies to his wife Elizabeth, his 3 children, and all of those who love him. A really good and decent man.
Boy, that was beyond stunning. Echo everything you said, Greg.
The Lions now from their own 26-yard line, and the give is to Reynolds, who goes nowhere. Hit hard by Khalil Davis. As we wind our way down to 5 minutes to play.
Think he saw Carlos's plays and used a little bit of motivation? Well, my brother did it. I better get some of this too.
Otherwise, he'll talk your ear off all the way home. On 2nd and 13, Blau throwing. Penalty marker flies.
Defense number 45. Ball is placed to spot of the foul. First down.
Buddy Johnson is guilty of the flag.
Well, Greg, you identified him on a previous series, getting there just a tad too soon, didn't get called. This one, he left no doubt. He went ahead and did it.
In case anyone had experienced any confusion.
Any lingering thoughts about the previous one?
So from the 26, complete to the near side of the field. And that's Craig Reynolds again. Reynolds, a lot of involvement here in the second half.
But Dan Campbell did say running back behind the top 2 was a spot that had to be figured out. And we've seen some quality plays. I thought Justin Jackson was terrific today. Jamar Jefferson tried to run hard. Now we're seeing Reynolds jump in there a little bit. So they've got some decisions to make about who will come in behind Swift and Williams.
All start. Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Kendall Lamb is number 76, and the penalty is on him. We're talking about Craig Reynolds. He has caught 3 passes for 18 yards today, and he's carried 5 times for 37.
Remember, he caught their eye last year during preseason, managed to make the roster, so he leaves them good thoughts along the way.
Play clock down to 3, down to 2, down to 1, and they get the snap off. Blau coming across the middle. That pass is complete, and up to midfield and knocked out of bounds is Khalil Pimpleton. Evan, let's go down to you.
Here with Najee Harris. Najee, we're on the eve of the season. How would you describe your excitement for year 2?
I think I'm very excited, man. I'm very excited just to be out here with the guys and you know, from last year to learn from my mistakes from last year, from today, and see what's here for me in year 2.
On the surface, there weren't many mistakes. What'd you take away that you wanted to work on from year 1?
It was a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of things we need to work on, though. You know, from the outside, looking in, it may seem like it, but from the inside out, just the game planning and how schemes is and how we do things. There's a lot of things that I need to work on, and so just go in the film room and just learn the mistakes and build from there.
So much discussion about the touches, your durability over the course of the season, your ability to hold up. What'd you do this offseason to make sure you're prepared to do that again?
I can hold up, man. I'm not too worried about that. I don't think Mike T or anybody here is too worried about that either. But this offseason, man, I always train a lot in ways to where I can withstand a heavy workload in games. So I'm prepared for anything, but I'm just more excited to see us working as a team.
Off the field, what was the coolest thing you did when you weren't playing football the last 6 months? Did you have any fun?
No, probably went to Mexico.
All right, Mexico's a pretty good time.
Yeah, I think that might be it.
All right.
Other than that, I was just training.
All business, guys. I think he's ready. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Evan, thank you very much. Yeah, he is going to be so important. This Pittsburgh rushing offense was 29th in the NFL last season. That's got to get better.
It's interesting how he just kind of downplayed a little bit about getting ready. To him, that's just a normal Tuesday. We read a terrific article.
I thought he downplayed Mexico.
He did. He definitely downplayed Mexico. But that's understandable. I'll tell you about the training part. But when he's talking about training, he read a great article. I believe Brooke Pryor wrote it, where she was embedded with him for a couple of days. And he had a morning, afternoon, and evening workouts. Different things to affect his body. Different boxing workout in the weight room, sprints. Every day, that's how he went about getting ready for this season.
It's a 4th and 5. And penalty markers, looks like, let's see.
All start. Offense number 13. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Devin Funches, the guilty party.
Former wide receiver with Carolina, now turned tight end.
Dan Campbell doing a slow burn. He was expecting better. Fourth and 10. Wow, pulls it down and flips it forward. And that is Igwebuike. A little imagination on the play. That takes us to the 2-minute warning at 1:58. 1:58 to play here in the 4th. We knew would not see the field today other than from the sideline, but he will be the starter come week 1.
There's Mark Brunell, the quarterback's coach, next to him. He had a few good moments in this league.
Gonna go deep down the near sideline and incomplete, out of bounds. Tom Kennedy.
Well, since I know Coach Mike Tomlin's going to call me and tell me to quit picking his roster, he doesn't need any help. Let me just go ahead and help pick Dan Campbell's roster. Okay?
Right ahead.
David Blau is quarterback 2. Tim Boyle quarterback 3. But you said something earlier that resonates with me, Greg, and that is depending on how these guys continue through their year, that could change too. The backup quarterback role, somebody may beat someone out during the year and could go back and forth. But I think as we start, by how we watch today, more things happen better for Blau, I thought, than for Boyle. And I think that Blau will be number 2.
Blau throws this side, and that is caught by Khalil Pimpleton. And the reason I think that is that I don't think that Dan Campbell is your regular coach and predictable and anything like that. He will maybe wake up on Tuesday and have a different thought process.
And, like Pete Carroll, when he went to Seattle, talking about competition Tuesdays or whatever it was, it's like Dan Campbell's that same type of guy. You earn it every week.
That pass incomplete. Oh, the Detroit Lions will open their season against the Philadelphia Eagles. And they'll be home again to Washington before they hit the road at Minnesota, come home to play Seattle, and then on the road at New England.
So playoff team from last year, new quarterback in Washington, new head coach in Minnesota. Let's see if the Lions can carry over the good feeling of hard knock summer into the regular season.
All those changes mean you throw out last year's film, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You got to go back to the film of where they were before.
Oh, what a throw. Good pitch and catch. Trinity Benson on the receiving end. And Blau, under pressure, made the connection.
A couple flags back there where he got knocked down, too. They might be getting some extra yardage tacked on.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 73. At the distance of the goal line from the end of the play, automatic first down.
Yeah, we're going to get you for that. I mean, it's just it's kind of a continuation play. And it just, you know, the officials don't want it. The league doesn't want it. That flag's going to come out every time.
That means it's not supposed to continue into tomorrow.
No, it's not that continuation and one in basketball.
So it's a first down for Detroit at the Pittsburgh 12-yard line. Blau looking left, throws left, incomplete. Overshoots his intended receiver. Meanwhile, this is how the Steelers will go into the new season. They'll start off at Cincinnati against the Bengals. Then they'll come home to host New England, travel to Cleveland, home against the New York Jets, and then on the road at Buffalo.
Nothing light about that start, is there? The AFC champions. New England's New England. Now, Deshaun Watson will not be playing quarterback in Cleveland, but it's still a division rival that gives them trouble. And then, of course, Buffalo in Week 5. They went to Buffalo and beat the Bills in the season opener last year.
On 2nd and 10, that pass is complete, but going nowhere as Kennedy makes the catch. And the clock continues to move. We come up on 1 minute to play. They'll line it up in a hurry, and if you know Dan Campbell from watching Hard Knocks, you know that this is big for him. To punch it into the end zone. That pass incomplete. Carlin's Patel got the hand on it as the Detroit receiver slipped at the goal line.
Yeah, they were lucky that didn't just go back the other way. And you'd be describing him running with ball.
Fourth and 8. Blau throwing. Tipped away at the goal line. It's incomplete. Donovan Steiner.
Well, it looks like see the Riley?
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 46. At the distance of the goal line, automatic first down.
They gave him Donovan Steiner's number.
Yes, they did.
That's Elijah Riley, who they just picked up this week, formerly with the New York Jets, out of Army, an undrafted free agent. And they just said, hey, you be Steiner. And somehow they found a way to get his name on it.
Yeah, wear this for Gumble.
Here, wear this one. Don't worry about it.
So, Elijah, you made a great play at the goal line. .41 seconds on the clock. Well, it's the same thing for all teams at this time of year. Ready or not, it's time to go.
Here comes the tough days now for your personnel department. Make the final decisions, and even tougher, telling young people that their dream may have died in your place, if not totally. As Chuck Noll used to say, time to get on with your life's work.
What did Dan Campbell tell us? Worst time of the year.
Takes it.
Time of the year.
Preseason winding down here.
On 1st and goal, thrown away incomplete. And it'll be 2nd and goal with 36 seconds on the clock.
Another nice play by Elijah Riley. He actually got signed by Pittsburgh landed at 9 a.m. here in Pittsburgh and went right to practice. There's no time to rest when you're trying to make a team.
David Blau trying to get a touchdown before time runs out. Right up the middle to the 5, tosses it, touchdown. Did he go past the line of scrimmage?
So far, no flag seen. I think they're going to discuss it back there. The umpire and the referee back in the, who are behind the line of scrimmage.
If it stands, it's a touchdown pass to Quintez Cephas.
I do see a flag now, I believe, on the field.
Dan Campbell wanting clarification.
I think the touchdown's going to stand.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 31. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. The result of the play is a touchdown.
He gets really close to that line of scrimmage.
He's okay. And remember, he can have that front foot over. You have to release the ball before the back foot crosses, or the back body part. As long as any part of your body's behind the line of scrimmage, that counts as behind. He had his full body behind it.
That is not the way they practiced it back in Michigan, but it counts. Rolling, throwing, and incomplete for the two-point conversion.
Yeah, second time we saw Blau improvise that way for good plays. Picked up a first down earlier with an underhanded toss, and then touchdown pass with this one.
So David Blau getting some congratulations on the far side of the field. Mitch Trubisky with a solid first half of work. A reminder for you tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes and an amazing family history. It's followed by a new Big Brother, plus The Equalizer and NCIS Los Angeles. That's tonight on CBS. Tyler Vaughns is deep. Charles Davis, this has been fun.
It's been a blast. Thank you so much for being here, Greg, and for the chance to stand next to you and work a game. This has been awesome.
As long as we keep straight the no relation. Onside kick. And it belongs to the Steelers.
No, he had it the wrong way first.
He pointed the wrong way, right. So it's a Detroit Lions football. Chase Lucas covering on the far side of the field.
And he's a guy that's, been battling to make this team. I think they'd like him to be a little bit bigger and a little bit stronger, but he's around the ball so often. Remember the Atlanta game when he had a chance to put it away with the interception and dropped it?
Yep.
He actually came back in practice that week and won a drill by doing exactly that. So he's a battler.
So imagine we'll see David Blau launch a couple towards the end zone. Detroit has all 3 of its timeouts remaining. Pittsburgh down to 1. 29 seconds on the clock. Blau looking deep on this side of the field, and it's incomplete. Lyndon Stevens there to break up the pass. Intended for Trinity Benson. And Blau coming up a little gimpy.
Here's why. Ooh. That was Khalil Davis, number 68.
You want to come out? No, sir.
No chance. See if they can get Cephas, number 87, all the way downfield with his big body and make one of those Hail Mary plays.
Wow. On the move, slides down. And Detroit will stop the clock.
Timeout. Detroit.
With
That's their first of
13
the half.
to play.
30 seconds in length. Please reset the game clock to 16 seconds.
And you say, why would you do that? Because that man right there wants a touchdown.
Absolutely.
Before you get on that plane and fly back to Detroit.
You know, and I'll guarantee you, through his head, he's thought to himself, let's just get out of here, all right? I don't want anybody hurt or anything, but the competitor in him will not allow him to do it.
That example for your players.
Can't do it, because you can't go back in there and tell them what you want when you haven't shown it that way.
Third and 6 for David Blau. Under pressure, and down he goes. Carlos Davis in on the quarterback, and that will run out the clock. And that'll do it. Our final score, the Pittsburgh Steelers over Detroit, 19-9. The preseason ends. Get set for the regular season. For Charles Davis and Evan Washburn, our entire crew here in Pittsburgh, I'm Greg Gumbel. Thank you for joining us, everyone. We're saying so long from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You have been watching the NFL on CBS.